make a really good olive oil, you have to start with a really good olive. And to get a really good olive, you've got to have a really healthy tree. What we do here is we make sure that the trees are grown with lots of fertiliser and lots of micronutrients to make the tree as healthy as possible. This makes them resistant to diseases. It's like a human body. We have very healthy trees here and they produce a beautiful plump olive, and we measure how much oil is in those olives. And when all the oil has accumulated in the olive, then the olive is harvested and sent down to the processing plant to be made into olive oil. When you can grow a good olive, pick it really quickly and then process it into oil really fast. And if you can do all those three things, you end up with a very high quality extra virgin olive oil that is full of all the health benefits and nutrients that people are looking for when they want to buy a very healthy fat. This grove was originally designed in 2000 and it was selected because it has a lot of really good sand over a clay base. And it's important for olive trees not to have wet feet and to be able to have free draining soils. The limestone coast region, which is where Canalpin is situated, is an ancient coastline that's had 15 different coast areas in this particular region and is renowned for being a very good place for wine and for olives and for figs and all those Mediterranean fruits. So we're pretty confident we've chosen a spot that's perfect. The Mediterranean basin is 35 degrees north of the equator and it's 35 degrees south of the equator. So it's a really good climate for growing olives in this region. We have very cool winters and lovely hot summers, and olives need to be cool for at least 10 days in the winter period to actually set the fruit and start making the olives for the next season. The water we receive here is pumped from underground from the lower confined aquifer, and it travels from the Blue Mountains in Victoria all the way underground, heads out to sea in South Australia, and we're able to drill down through 2 aquifer systems till we get to the bottom, and down the bottom is some really good water that is perfect for olive trees.
The computer technology for the irrigation is very important and it works very well. We can run different programs on our irrigation to water more or less and put fertiliser in to the watering system. The water system, we have 2 diesel engines lifting the water from the ground, which both of those can pull up to 2,500 litres a minute each at any given time.
We planted 5 varieties here at Canalpin. We've got the Barnea, which is from Israel, the Manzanillo, which is from Spain, Piquail from Spain, Frantoio from Italy, and the Licino from Italy. We planted what we called a pollination plant, so this is more like a map of our pollination. Different varieties will ripen at different times, so we start harvesting in May, and we will make sure we do all the Barnea, then all the Manzanillo, all the Frantoio, all the Licino, because they all ripen at different times. So if everything ripened all at once, by the time we got to harvest it all, some of it would have fallen on the floor. So by having different ripening and different harvesting times, we can make sure we get all the olives at different stages.
Here we are at Tadao Olive Processors. This is a processing facility for olives in the upper southeast of South Australia. We process the fruit between the start of May and probably mid to the end of June. There are several tests we do on the oil. To be extra virgin, it needs to be under 0.8 FFA and under 20 peroxide. If the fruit is in good condition, and particularly if conditions are cool like this, it's harvested and brought down and processed in good time. There is no problem in making very good oil.
When we process the oil, all the varieties are kept in separate tanks. And that allows us to go down there and try all the oils and then make a blend of a unique style of oil that will be for a particular market. So more delicate palates would like more of the Barnea, perhaps a little bit of fruitiness from the Pickquail, and that will make a really beautiful mild style of oil. But things like your Lecinos and Froentoyos, they are quite peppery and robust, and they will add a bit of pepperiness and more sort of, the cough at the back of the throat. That will be added in if you use those varieties. So we've got a really good mix here of different varieties that we can use to make an outstanding unique oil. Part of our agreement with the Department of Natural Heritage is that we would plant areas back to native vegetation. So all the areas that we're not using, we left that and we planted more of the natural species back into these areas to bring in the wildlife and bring in the birds and give something back to the environment. So we've been managing the Canal Plume project since the beginning. We were here when we were designing the orchard, planting it. So for us, this orchard is like our baby. It's our family, it's what we love to do.